is a killer. You can never have enough. And take what you're given. Always be enough. Indecision will always hold.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's video. We are here at Lake Waramaug, where we're gonna ride the perimeter of the lake. It's about a 6-mile loop. It's a beautiful area, and I've already seen a couple of guys doing a group ride and a couple of people doing their runs. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So guys, we're here at Lake Waramaug. It is Kent/New Preston. This is where I first started riding a road bike. I really entry level, and took it out here with my sister's girlfriend who rides, and she taught me how to ride on road pedals or on clipless pedals. So if you are new to cycling, I suggest you go to a nice quiet location and ride there. Just learn how to, clip in and unclip on the pedals, and there'll be like rolling hills. Just learn how to change gears. So if you know someone who got into cycling before you did and they're willing to help you, then I would say, hook up with that person and learn the basics. And it's a loop, so it actually helped me to just get the feel of riding. And it might feel scary at first, but you don't have to go fast. Just go easy. And if you have, highly suggest having lights both in the front and in the back, just so motorists could see you and they know when to slow down or give you extra room if they have to pass. So these are just kind of like safety tips if you're new to riding. Car up. And you just heard me communicate to Jason, and that's what you need to do when you are riding with someone, is just communicate with them that the person behind you knows if they can't see ahead of you. So anyway, it might seem scary riding on the road, but stick with, I think I've said this in the past, stick with within the neighborhood. You can do that. Follow the laws. As a cyclist, you still need to make sure that you are adhering to road laws, since you are riding on the road, because that helps you to be a safer cyclist. And we don't want to give a bad name to ourselves, because there are motorists who have never ridden a bike outside and can say that they hate riding with cyclists, but it's mainly because either we're not communicating with them, or they don't know how to drive with pedestrians or cyclists on the road. So what we're doing now is just doing one loop around the lake as a warm-up. And then I'm gonna go start my workout, which is called Cucumber. It's a bunch of sweet spot intervals. Oh, there's a car. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, I want to pass. Thanks. I don't know what it's doing. Would be nice if they had their flashers on. Anyway, the workout is called Cucumber. It's a bunch of sweet spot intervals and 10 minutes, and then with I believe a 1 minute low zone 2 recovery. I'll put all the information up on the screen here. I'm gonna go ahead and upload the workout since there's no service where we parked, and get started, continue with the warm-up actually. All right, I had to come back to the car because I forgot my heart rate monitor. So now we're really gonna get started with the work. I'm now at the cool down. The workout was okay. I felt all right. I didn't have it all today, but we have those days, and it was fun though. I'll put my Strava results up on the screen. You guys can see how I did. By the way, I hope the audio is better, because last video I noticed that there's a lot of wind noise. So I have the lav mic on, and I'm hoping that cuts it out a little bit. But yeah, just finishing up with the cool down here, and heading back to the car, checking out Cafe at 9. I think that's what it's called, right? And have some treats and head home. So, fun workout. Definitely a little bit more chilly when you're riding, It's windy. I can feel the wind now. Well, I've been feeling it. There was some crosswinds on the one side of the lake, and it was hard to control the bike because I was getting blown to the side. I could feel it right now. It's like headwinds. Lots of cyclists and just people doing recreational activities on the lake, like kayaking, fishing. Thanks. Coming up to your left. Hi. Thank you. So that's all for today, and or that's all for the workout at least. I'm going to try to see if I can get the drone out.
Hi everyone. So I just wanted to kind of say hi because I haven't talked too much in our few videos that we've had on our outdoor rides so far this year. We haven't done a lot of outdoor rides yet, just kind of getting started with that. But just wanted to kind of give you an update on some things that I've been doing lately. First of all, the ride that we just did this weekend around Lake Waramaug was really fun. I wasn't doing a workout myself. For me it was supposed to be just about a 2-hour endurance ride, and so I had no intervals planned or anything. So what I did was I just basically followed Joy while she was doing her workout and tried to film her the whole time. Also, I ended up getting in a pretty good workout myself without really thinking too much about it. I didn't know, I had some idea of what type of intervals she was doing because she would communicate that to me before she did her hard efforts. It was not nearly as hard of an effort for me as it was for Joy, just because I was in her draft a lot of the time. And this is the other cool thing that I experienced, was that this was probably the first time that I've really felt the draft effect. Most of the time when we're doing our rides and there's more climbing, and if I get behind Joy, I don't really feel like it's helping me, when we're climbing. But Lake Waramaug is fairly flat, so and it's windy there too. So just an update on a couple things. I'm not doing the same training plan that Joy is right now. I had started a 21-week Gran Fondo training plan, and it's similar to the one that Joy and I completed last year, but this one it's an intermediate level, whereas the one we did before was beginner. And so it's a little bit higher volume. I'm in the base phase of it right now, and right away I can tell that it's just the base phase is higher volume than what the base phase of the beginner plan was. The thing I'm looking forward to the most with it is getting back to doing long outdoor rides, which there's quite a bit of in this training plan. One other thing that I did recently, I did my first Zwift race a few weeks ago, and it was fun. It was hard, and it was fun at the same time. And the route was, if you're familiar with Zwift, it's the Road to Sky route, which is basically the shortest way to get to Alpe de Zwift. So, it starts off with, it takes you maybe 10 minutes or so before you reach, the base of the climb. And then from there, the rest of the route is just going up Alpe de Zwift. So I thought that this race would be a good one for me to start off with as my first, because I'm not very good with race strategy or anything, and I thought that this race wouldn't require too much of strategy, because it's mostly a climb. So I figured it's going to come down to watts per kilo. The group that I was in for this race was Group C, which was supposed to be 2.5 to 3.1 watts per kilo average. I only finished, I think, 48th out of 80 people, which doesn't sound too good, kind of in the middle of the pack, but I was pretty happy with the way that I performed, because I ended up averaging 3 watts per kilo and did that for over an hour. So that was definitely a first for me. And I also PR'd Alpe de Zwift with a time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 56 seconds. I have a goal to be able to do Alpe de Zwift in less than an hour, and hopefully I'll get there soon. I'm getting pretty close now. So, a couple of PRs that I got during that as a result of that race just made it worthwhile for me. So lastly, another thing I wanted to give you an update on is I've been very slowly trying to get back into running. I used to be a runner before starting to cycle, and I had a knee injury / condition, which I still have. I had surgery for it, so I nearly gave up on running altogether. I wasn't ready to totally throw in the towel on it, so what I did was I started doing mobility exercises, and for the last 6 months or so, I've been spending a lot of time doing mobility exercises, particularly for the hips, knees, and ankles, with the theory that improving the mobility and strengthening the kinetic chain above and below the knee might indirectly help strengthen or stabilize the knee, and maybe I'll have less pain. So I'm happy to say that doing the mobility exercises has really helped, and I got to the point where I felt like I could give it a try again to start running. So about 6 months ago, around the same time that I really started investing my time in the mobility exercises, I also started very slowly working my way back onto the treadmill. And what I would do is just do some very short jogging intervals with like maybe 15 seconds jogging at a very slow pace and 1 minute walking in between. I would do a few of those intervals, and then I gradually increased the time of the jog and reduced the time of the walking, or reduced the number of intervals. and kept progressing in that way until I got to the point where I could do, you know, 1 10-minute block of pure jogging. Then at that point, I just would increase the 10 minutes to 11 minutes and then 12 minutes. And then eventually I worked, a couple weeks ago, I worked back up to the point where I ran 1 mile on the treadmill without stopping. And this whole time, while I've been slowly building back up the running, I fortunately haven't had any setbacks with my knee pain. There have been a few times when the knee would get a little bit achy after the run, but it's been manageable, and I haven't been feeling really any pain during the runs. So I'm still going with this progression, and as of yesterday, I just did 16 minutes jogging. So my plan is to just keep going with this very slow progression. I'm hoping to provide you with some hope that you'll be able to do your activity again one day if you just chip away at it and come up with a plan that's going to rehab you and get you toward, you know, back to doing what you want to do. And we thank you for watching and subscribing. And if you're not yet a subscriber, we'd appreciate your support if you could like and subscribe the videos. I really appreciate all of our subscribers that we currently have. And so until next time, just remember to enjoy the ride.